there are many types of wings, but this may be the best one. Incredible flavors are the hallmark of great wings, and this recipe delivers. But I'll share how to get amazing textures as well. And while I'm gonna show my favorite versions of the sauces I used and the rub I like for wings, I will also show you how to get away with store-bought sauces, which makes this process almost shockingly fast and easy. Wings, in my opinion, are truly undeniable. Tangy, sweet, spicy, and they also just make people happy. My wife was all smiles while I was filming this video. So let's dive into the legendary oven wing. I started with the rub, which is the heart of this entire proposition because it's used in both the sauce and to lacquer the wings as well. I combined 4 parts paprika, 2 parts celery salt, 1 part cumin, 1 part gochujang chili flake, 1 part garlic powder, and 1 part onion powder. I am generally strongly preferential to gram-weighted recipes, but I love the part system because you basically replace the word part with any volumetric measurement you'd like, be it a cup, a tablespoon, a teaspoon, etc. It gives you the ability to make exactly the amount you need. Personally, I used this ramekin and it gave me a lot, but this rub will keep for literally years, and I use it anytime I need a quick barbecue seasoning. But if you only want the amount used in this recipe, teaspoons should work nicely. These spices give a great baseline, but you can feel free to use basically any spice mixture you'd like. Arguably the best way to turn a spice mix into a barbecue rub is to add salt and sugar to it. Combinations of salt and sugar are used in many things, from pork belly to gravlax, and there are many great ratios to use, but I went with an additional 3 parts salt and 4 parts sugar. When you buy a pack of wings, you're gonna find something that doesn't look exactly like the neat and tidy version you'll get from a restaurant. I'm personally all about the perfect bite, so I do like to break these down into their better parts, but this part is notably optional, so feel free to skip it and just proceed with the recipe as is. That said, a chicken wing has 2 joints that matter, and you can see them by flexing the wing. All you need to do is cut through each joint. The trick here, and in really any butchery, is to try to not force your knife through it. Even a dull knife should glide with relative ease through these joints, so if you're feeling resistance, cut in a slightly different spot. What you're left with is 3 wing pieces, although I never use the wing tip. And these I laid onto a sheet tray covered with aluminum foil and seasoned them heavily with the rub. Then I covered the wings with more foil and put them into the broiler on high for 25 minutes. This may seem like a long time, and it's important to remember that broilers can all behave differently. So I would always recommend taking the times in given recipes with a grain of salt. Pun fully intended. That said, I'm not going to get into the differences of radiative versus convective heat transfer, but I will say that the aluminum foil is actually going to block a lot of the broiler heat. So after these have cooked for 25 minutes and you take the top layer of foil off to give them some color, don't be surprised if they brown much faster than expected, about 3 minutes per side in my case. These wings are cooked and they are delicious, but we can bring them to the next level with some amazing sauces. My favorite wing sauce is equal parts Frank's Red Hot and barbecue sauce. You can feel free to use your favorite barbecue sauce here. That said, the one I used is both special and incredibly easy to make. I started with a red onion that I put into a 450-degree oven for 1.5 hours. You want this thing to look burnt to a crisp, but when you cut both ends off and squeeze out the middle, you're left with a sweet, tender, and lightly smoked red onion. I blended it with 400 grams of ketchup, 75 grams of the barbecue rub, 25 grams of cider vinegar, and 25 grams, or about half a lemon's juice. This is a barbecue sauce you can rely on. Then I combined some of it with an equal amount of Frank's Red Hot. All that's left is to coat the wings in the sauce and put them on a plate with what has got to be one of my favorite dressings, ranch. Feel free to use those packets, but I think this recipe is much better. Combine 1 cup of mayo, half a cup of sour cream, half a cup of buttermilk, a large handful of minced chives and parsley, 1 clove of chopped or grated garlic, kosher salt to taste, paprika, Worcestershire sauce, freshly ground black pepper, and a couple of lidfuls of white wine vinegar. I could actually drink this stuff. And it makes these wings taste even better, especially when I added thinly sliced celery hearts and celery leaf and scallions. There are times that knife work like this is largely unnecessary, but this is the rare example where it really helps because these thin slices and leaves stick to the wings and really help you get that perfect bite. But anyway, that's all for me on this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.